Hi there and welcome to Story Time with Uncle Bill. Hoping to get you ready to eat. We're going to make a meat and rice loaf today with some mashed potatoes and gravy. Wash my hands right quick. Today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Hope you have a good day. Filled with lots of fun and excitement. Maybe a little action tonight. We're going to go be on the boat again. One of my favorite jobs ever, commercial fishing. Catching grouper, snapper, beeliners, triggerfish, hogfish, a variety of groupers. Barracuda, tuna. We caught everything. But we got about a pound and a quarter of ground beef. We got a bag of rice. And we got some instant mashed potatoes and gravy. You know I like making it. It's my favorite. On the boat, everything. I have a metal rack up here. Here we go. We swaying. I asked the guy, hey, what you want to eat? Hey, make that loaf. Gotcha. Put a little spray in the thing. Turn the thing up. I got the oven preheated to 400. Man, let me talk about some of that cool stuff I seen out there. This is got some adobo. Look, people, I like spices. I really do. I don't like anything bland. Got some garlic powder. Well, that was onion powder. This is garlic powder. This is probably plain tea. Got some salt. And see, when you're out there on the ocean, if you catch it to where the fish are hitting, you be fishing for a while. Those dudes out there, they're like pirates out there, man. They'll come in there and eat. And I got a 1 packet of meatloaf seasoning, but this technically wouldn't be a meatloaf. Not like it would be like almost disrespectful to call it meatloaf. So I got the seasoning in there. I'm gonna put the rice right on top of it. Not even mix it up yet. My hand's about to get nasty. If you ever mix ground beef with your hands, you know it gets a lot of fat and oils. Now I'm gonna put seasoning on top of the rice. Same thing. Come back with the same stuff. But I don't want the rice to be bland. Dolphins. I've seen dolphins on the beach. I've seen dolphins at, I think I went to SeaWorld, the aquarium. But I've never seen them up close. And the first time I did, just mix it up with your hands real good. The first time I did, I remember vividly. It was nasty outside. It was horrible. But it wasn't raining, but it was overcast, really cloudy, no sun. Just one of those gloomy days, one of those days you just want to stay home and take a nap, maybe read a book if that's what you're into. Real choppy outside, man. I'm talking about the waves is nonstop and it was windy. That was the problem. It was windy. So it just wouldn't let up. We couldn't fish. We're trying to get out of this. We're just traveling. There's no fishing. There's just traveling. You just see dudes sitting around, chain smoking cigarettes, drinking beer after beer after beer after beer. We stop every now and again, put the line in, seeing that the current was roaring, but the line's supposed to go straight up and down. It's shooting 1.5 miles across the ocean. You think you're closer to Africa than you are to North Carolina, but when you look at the map, you ain't even moved. But I was, what I actually did, folks, straight up, a lot of the time when I was out there on that water, and I'm just going to take this meatball that I have mixed this rice up with, about the best I think I can, just put it right in the pan. Just like that. Big old meatball. Press it down. I'd stand in the middle of the boat and test my sea legs. I mean, most of the time, I mean, a lot. If we travel for 2 hours, I did it for an hour and a half. It was balanced. I've seen the Karate Kid. My man was Bruce Lee. I always said you had to have balance in course. I believed him. Good thing I did, too. So I was up there, not far from the stove, actually. Not cooking, though. And the object was not to make my feet move. Not to keep balance with the boat, but don't make my feet move. So you had to make your legs wiggle wobble and stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes it was ferocious. And it was, you know, end up falling all up into the captain's chair, falling back, tumbling over. But people knew what it was. It was just my thing. You know what I mean? Once you get to know somebody, I mean, I wasn't causing any problems. And I had to do the anchor by myself. I mean, I could have got some help, but those dudes were older. I think I was like 30. They was in their 50s. You know what I mean? And I wanted to do that. So, hey, Bill. Yo, there's some dolphins over here. Come on. And I had seen dolphins on the boat before, but not close. So I go up on the boat, and I'm excited now. I got a little it's like 2005. I got 2004. I got one of the little camera phones. Horrible pictures. They don't exist no more. I'm out there taking little pictures. You like to see the little dolphin. I seen like a school of 10 the first time. So I was like, oh, wow, they disappeared. I was like, yo, Bill, look over here. And I looked, and there was 2 schools of 7. And I was like, oh, man, cha-ching, cha-ching. Or it was like this or whatever it was. And they was like, yo, Bill, look behind the boat. And eventually, people like the whole sea was like these little schools of dolphins jumping everywhere. I was like, oh, man. This is delight. And mind you, I had just spent 5 years in federal prison for weed and just paid my debt to society. And I couldn't even imagine being in a better place than this. Because I'm a big nature guy. I'm a big fishing guy. I love it. I love this stuff. I'm in heaven then. You know what I mean? So the captain of the boat, I want to remember his name so bad. He's like, yo, Bill, go up to the bow of the boat. And at that time, you know what the bow of the boat was. I just wasn't a boat person. And he goes, go up to the boat. There's a little handle up there. Hold on to it and look down. So, and man, it's not like I'm just standing there and taking photos of damn dolphins and everything's cool. It's like this, people. And the water ain't stopped because the dolphins came. You know what I mean? It stopped because I'm telling you the story on dry land. So it's like this. So I got to put the phone in my pocket. You know what I mean? Then you got to go up, and to get to the front of the boat, you got to go on a little walkway, you know, where the cabin is and shit. So it's small. You can fall in at any time, man. And at this time, I hadn't been on the water too many times. It's probably like my 6th or 7th trip. But I've caught a lot of fish. Oh, and I love it. So I made it out there, and from the hard part is actually from when you get off where the cabin is, and then you got to go to that. We had a rope there. It was still tough, man. And I'm always worried about falling over. I can swim good. There's megalodons and there's things that are capable of eating me. I'm just not comfortable with it. I'm just not comfortable with it. So, you know what I mean? I get up there and I never got my phone out. But when I looked over, oh, people. Oh, oh my God. There were so many dolphins. I'm right underneath the boat, right plainly in the view of my eyesight. And we was only going about 9 miles an hour. We wasn't hitting on nothing. And they were just casually, they were looking up at me. Doing little spins. Like little waves. Like you see it SeaWorld and the aquariums and stuff. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, there's just 20, at least 20 in my eyesight. All this is dolphins. It's spaced out far enough that you can see ocean and underneath, and you can see dolphins underneath them. Maybe just like one more row. And I remember looking up and just kept seeing dolphins. Like, no way. You know, and the boat, remember now the boat, oh man. And I looked down and I seen this dude or girl, whatever it was, look up at me and blow the snout, I mean straight into my face. I could have died right then. Ooh, my God. Did y'all see that? I could have. Oh my God. He blew snout in my face. Oh, I don't know if that was blowing me a kiss. I don't know if that was disrespectful. Oh, man. I thank God a lot. That moment. I spent 5 years. I mean, because I went to school, I got like, can't even remember now, over 60 certificates. So I made the most of my time. But it was wasted for the most part. Just on the mental aspect of waking up and every day knowing if somebody wants to take something from you, just anything. Take. They're going to ask. So you have the ability to take, including your life. Drop of the hat, because you never know what somebody's going through. Ooh, Lord have mercy. That's that rice and that grease in there. Ooh, that just tore my face up. All in my face. The guys have seen it too, because they sit up there. So they was happy for me, man. I was sitting there telling them stories and stuff. Like everybody has a story to tell, especially when you're driving like that. You ain't catching no fish, or even when you catch a fish next to each other, you telling stories. And that stuff, you know, that stuff they had seen like 1,000 times. You know, they actually swam with the dolphins. You know, y'all been on their vacations and stuff. I haven't. I've never been to an amusement park. None of them. Not near one. And lived 20 minutes away from Busch Gardens. Never been to one. I've been to Jungle Rapids in Wilmington, North Carolina. Okay, so for the potatoes, we're going to need some hot water. 2 cups. I think that's 2 cups. And for the gravy, cold water. 1 cup. How close? Get some butter. You did it. I said about the squid, but if you hadn't heard, a couple nights, 2 of them. I did it for a little over a year. The whole ocean. We had some bright lights at the back of the boat where we were fishing at. You could probably see about maybe 100 feet. You can't see too damn far. It's always pitch black. I mean, black out on that ocean. Black. But every now and again, 2 times, you know, squid got that light pinkish, reddish color to them. They'd be about this long. Little fellas was scared. I would be so scared. People, man, how are you not scared? I'm scared. I can't act scared, you know what I mean? I go, oh, or I could just sit here and say, well, let's just see what the hell happens. Maybe nothing will. That's always and then if something happens, we just react fast. That's all we got to do. But being worried about something will get you nowhere. Will get you nowhere. If you can do something about it, do it. If you can't, pray. And so you're still doing something. So, but it's always cool, man. I mean, I can't even tell you. Because you can take a cast net and throw it out there. You'll catch a couple hundred squid at one time. You ever seen that many squid? You know what I mean? And that's all bait for us. But I used to see what you scared about? It's just squid. Baby squid at that. That's what we use as bait. And I catch big fish off of squid. So if there's a school around and there's a lot of squid and you can get them fast because they're not even moving. Potatoes will tear you up, folks. That's not a lot. I actually eat all the food that it makes. You can't have spices. All right. But that squid, man. 2 packs. Did I say I only have 1? I mean I don't have enough water. If you know what a mai is, they call it a dolphin tooth. It's real skinny, yellow, green, and blue in color. Weird looking. So weird it's pretty, one of those things. The first time I had seen them, we never fished for them. I've sold them, but I didn't know how they were caught. We baited 7 hooks and dropped it with a 6-pound weight. A 6-pound weight, folks. Probably your average weight is if you're out there on the ocean, ounce, couple ounces to hold that bait down. We use 6 pounds. So the first time I had seen it, I'm just right quick. What we got right quick. Make sure it's still recording. Man, I've lost so many videos lately. That's what them taters look like. That gravy's ready. Got a nice brown. Look at that, folks. Busting at the seams. We good? Okay. So a couple come swimming up. I was like, oh man, what is that? He goes, yo, that's the mai. I said, how we catch those? We had some fishing rods, but they were huge. But that's what you can use too. I was like, what do you use the rods in them? He goes, nah, man, you just go make a line and take a hook on it and throw it out there and you'll catch them like that. You ain't got to. They don't have they ain't that strong. You just throw them in the boat. I was like, all right, then bet. So that's what I did. I went and made some lines. And we got to cover this in aluminum foil because remember out there in the boat, this thing is shaking. I mean, it's shaking bad too. And the last thing you want on a boat is a fire. After that is a hole. You don't want no hole in your boat. So, oh man, out there fishing, catching. We're catching snowy groupers. About the average one's about 20, 25 pounds, about this big. Got a nice big head on them. They're like jet black. Some got a nice brown marbling to them, all solid one colors, but they had these white spots on them. Every so often. Some had a lot, some only had a couple. Some of them got up to 100 pounds. I mean, big grouper, big, pretty, big mouth, strong grouper. But you got to fish deep for them. About 400 feet. Takes a long time to hit the bottom just to catch the fish. Hydraulic rod and reel. I come up, had like 4 fish on mine. Got a D hooker. Looks like a bent over piece of metal with a handle. And I mean, just that fast. I can de-hook any fish, no matter how deep it is in his mouth. Slide the line. If you've never seen that, everybody got to have that in that tackle box. It is way better than any grabber, pinchy thing ever invented. I mean, big, and you know, when you're catching fish like that, you have to get that hook out and back in the water, straightened out, back in the water, because it could be gone in a minute. It's fast, easy come, easy go. And if this is your livelihood, and it wasn't really mine was, this is more recreation. It was nice I got paid for it. But I knew these guys had bills, and part of how they paid them was catching these fish. So I was trying harder than them because I had something to prove because I was new to it. And I always want you to know that, hey, I'm part of the team, I belong, and even once I became part, I still just want to be the best. You know what I mean? So you just work hard and push as hard as you can. And it wasn't about anybody else. I just wanted to see my numbers. I never went up to anybody and say, how many fish did you catch? I didn't care. I didn't know. I can tell you how many I caught. Recorded it all. You know what I mean? I just loved it. And I just finished baiting my hooks. And we was using pieces of mullet like this. You know, you hope sometimes to catch a fish that big. I threw the line in the water. You know, you throw the line out like you would throw a cast net. That's how you had to throw all 7 hooks. Because you want the 7 hooks to go straight out, and then when that weight goes down, you can see it, and you got to make it go slow because you don't want it to get tangled up in the line. You just see those 7. It looks like you already caught 7 fish as it's going down. It's pretty cool. So I had thrown the line out, and when I threw the line out, folks, the whole damn sea, and this was a very beautiful day. This was a very flat day. This is one of the, if I had 1,000 days on the ocean, there was 5 flat days. Flat as hell. It was and the beauty about a flat day is that what you don't realize, because when the waves are all rocking and you just can't do anything but try to keep your balance. When it's flat like that, you can see down in the water. And you can see a long way. A long way. It is amazing how far, because when you catch fish, you can see them coming up now. You know, I vary maybe like sometimes 40, 50 feet before down, and whereas normally be 10 feet. I don't see the fish to 10 feet, but now I see them 40, 50 feet down. And you can see other fish like trying to get them. I don't know how many fish we lost to barracuda and sharks and whatever the hell is down there eating them. Amberjacks will destroy beeliners, man. Destroy anything. I don't know how many times I've caught fish with heads this big. I'm talking about heads bigger, like I hold the head and you can't see my head. You can't see my shoulders, and I'm not trying to make it look big. It is that just the head, and something ate the whole damn body. Where's my fish? It drives you crazy because that kind of fish, when you catch fish like that, it's $3 a pound. 100-pound fish, it's $300. That's a lot of money, and something ate it. And then you watch National Geographic, and you see people out there catching those big tunas, and they're underwater, and they just watch orcas, killer whales, just out there picking them off. Because why in the hell wouldn't you? It's free food. They're doing to catch it for you. Especially tunas are fast too. I threw that line in though, and as I threw it, the whole sea changed, but not in that pink and red. It was squid, and you could see down so far. I mean, that was the amazing part. And there were just so many. I mean, and they were jumping. And they were of all different sizes. And I heard the captain say, hit the lines. And like, I didn't know, but they already had lines. I guess I wasn't paying much attention to anything. But the next thing I know, I had 2 lines, folks, and I ain't even joking. Throw it in, had a dude that was also fishing way faster than me. As soon as I pulled the fish up, and every fish was at least this big. It was at least this big. Every fish, and most of them were about this big. There was 3 to 4 foot fish, man. Skinny though. D hooked my fish, hooked my line, say throw it. Did this for 2 minutes straight. As soon as it hit the water, you could. It wasn't heavy. Just wasn't heavy. 2 minutes. Throw it. Oh no, and the boat ain't moving. The boat ain't moving. And the fish hit me because everybody's catching fish like this. I'm not the only one doing it. But the others are one at a time. I'm two-handed. Fish hit me all over the place. It got blood everywhere. And they gone. I mean, just as fast as it came, they gone. There was one, like, so I seen the 3 when I made the line, and then like a 5 or 6 of them came back. And maybe that's when they made the lines or something. I don't know, because I was catching fish. If you've ever seen that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That wasn't the first time those guys had seen it. It was ready, you know. I mean, they knew they knew what to do. And when it was all over, my line was still in the water. Had 7 fish on it. I had 7 hooks. I had pulled them up. We caught, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 fish in 2 minutes. It was incredible. It was a bloodbath. They were so pretty, man. I took so many pictures. You know, pictures on the ground and stuff. I was like, man, nobody's gonna believe this. This is incredible. It happened, and I just remember thinking, I don't never want to go back to that place again. Thank God I got to see this. It was, how they say, all that in a bag of chips. And I'm hungry. So if I didn't say I'm about to go kayaking, I almost made that into a heart. Maybe see some alligator today. I don't really do cooking. I'm gonna work out at about an hour after I get done eating this. I'm gonna work out, but we're not going to at least 12, and it's 9, so 10. So I'll probably work out from 11 to 12. excited about too. Excited about working out and going out there. Ain't going out there to provoke no alligators. Actually, really going out to kayak and see what's out there. But my man said the alligators are out. He got the photos of it too. And I've only been on one trip on the kayak, and didn't see nothing. Didn't catch nothing. I don't know if I'm gonna try to go fishing. I got my fishing license, so I kind of want to go, but I don't know what's out there. See, they just come over, get an old chunky piece. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh, I'm hungry too. Oh yeah. All right. That's what she looked like coming out the oven. Oh yeah. I'm gonna hit this gravy. And you ain't got to worry about the gravy making nothing soggy. It's not. It is not. Plate on. All right, let's put this at the table here. There it is, folks. That's the meat and rice loaf with mashed potatoes and gravy. Man, I hope this got you ready to eat, because I am about to tear it up. All right, let's get it done. You ready? What you think, folks? You ready? You gonna be good? Look, I got a little bit of some brown bread right there. A little bit of the wheat stuff. Well, I appreciate you rocking with me, and I sure wish I could share this with you. I'm a big bread and gravy fan. Shout out to my man Gam. I asked him what his favorite food was. He said bread. And I feel you, man. So this is for you. Here we go. You already know. All right, I'm going to try the meat by itself with the gravy. Now I'm going to hit it with the taters. It's that double carb. And I'm going to slurp in there, wasn't it? Little meatloaf sandwich. How to get messy, folks. Mm. That's so good. I'm about to tear it up. If you ever get a chance, I highly recommend it. Any kind of going out on that ocean if you like to fish or sightsee. My man A Surfer, you know, he's out there. He goes under the water. All kind of beautiful stuff. I don't know about under the water so much, but I'm sure we're gonna do it anyway. Does the whales and things. Man, it's been a long time since I've been out there. Can't get a hold of none of all the people I've been out there. I think they all retired, and because of all the state laws and stuff, it's almost impossible for anybody to really go out there and make any money. So it just ain't really done. But that's the story for today. And the food, I sure wish I could share it with you. I'm about to crush it, man. I'm not going to do more from you. Hope everybody's having a good day and staying safe. We got some kayaking coming. If you can't hit that like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't.